Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Slipways, where today we're taking on one more standard run before we jump into the campaign, but today we're playing on the tough difficulty. Because I intend to play the campaign on tough, I gotta get used to it again, I do find it very difficult. So, what is the difference between reasonable and tough? Well, in this tooltip you can see at the top of the screen here, these are the difficulty affected values for reasonable. Every good that's being sent off of each planet is worth $6 a year. Planet distribution is favorable, which is vague, kind of squishy, but it's certainly a better distribution than what we're going to be seeing. We start with 125 credits. Civil unrest, which is the lose the game condition, begins at 60% happiness or lower, and every time you connect a people-bearing world to a ruin, you get 3 science. On tough, as you might imagine, all of those numbers are worse. The base planet income change, I think, is the biggest hit. You just get a third less money for basically all of your sources of income, and that's really harsh. Planet distribution is meaner, you have less money to work with, you get less science for exploring ruins. It's just a tough time. That said, it can be very satisfying to do well on tough, and I think that playing with the game dialed to a level of difficulty that is appropriate to you will make many of the options in the game feel much more vital. Like in that last game's a great example. We were able to bypass pretty much everything that had to do with lowering our costs or increasing our incomes because I was having such an easy time managing that stuff already, and it just made a lot of the techs and skills seem kind of superfluous. That is not the case on tough. On tough, every element of the game is critically important. So, we're playing with some quirks today. I did a little bit of digging around here and found another seed that has some of the new technologies and stuff in it. So we're going to see that. First of all, interference. All subspace signals are shown as medium strength. I don't think this one's too bad, and obviously they don't either because it only gives you a 5% score increase. Because usually we're maximizing the number of signals that we hit with each probe anyway, but you know, with the less favorable planet generation and stuff, who knows? And also contaminated water. Planets producing water make 1 less unit, but every exported unit of water earns an additional $3. So water is pretty vital, as we saw last time. You do need a lot of water to have a successful sector. But also we need money, desperately. I have no idea why shipping contaminated water is worth more money. I guess the idea is that the water everywhere is all screwed up, so anytime you can ship fresh water, it's in higher demand. But also, ask me how I feel about the fact that people have to pay for basic necessities of survival. Anyway, listen, the whole game's economic model is a kind of utopian fiction, right? For a certain value of utopian. So, we have here a new technology in the Bakar, this mass reactor. So any planet that's established or better, it turns 1 unit of minerals produced on the planet directly into energy. This seems very good. Very, very good. And it combines in an interesting way with their new perk, Energy Specialists. The costs of researching and using energy technologies are reduced by how much? Question marks. I'm not wild about the way this tooltip is written. I assume it's written this way vaguely because the reality is too complicated to explain easily. It might be that it's not it's a reduction that isn't the same on each thing. Like each thing has a discount that's dialed in specifically. I don't know. I think we're going to play with it. I guess one thing we can do. So mass reactors cost 26 science and it costs $30 to build the project. Okay, the discount is not immediately reflected. I think we are probably going to play with this because energy-related technologies are very good, and also, you know, I want to experiment with the new stuff. We have new stuff here on the Ephorians. Affects connections that would deliver a second unit of a resource already being supplied to a planet. These connections take 1 month less to build and cost 30% less. Okay. It is nice to be able to build a slipway in 0 time. And as we saw last time, even when we're not using Empathic Link for its thing, we do end up delivering just to try to create enough trade routes to get planets to prosperous and stuff. We do end up creating resource double-ups relatively frequently. And we have hyperdense architecture, allowing a planet to receive a second unit of any resource from the same source. Unfortunately, these two are definitely not going to interact in any way, I don't think. Unless the excess perk is smart enough to, once you have hyperdense architecture, regard any link being run from one planet to another where the first planet has at least 2 points of its resource as a connection that could deliver. Wood is, I guess wood is the operative word here. Probably these two do not interact at all. Honestly, the Euphorians look pretty good too, so I do think we're going to take them. I love gene adjustment very much on higher difficulties. It turns out cost savings, very important. And then we also have the Silthid's new stuff. So here's a new technology. This is a structure, not a project. It does have to be built in the orbit of a planet, so it's kind of weird that it's not a structure, or it's kind of weird that it's not a project. But the Silthid do have some perks and stuff that interact with structures, so I guess I kind of get why they did that. Notice, the Silthid have quantum sensors. Last time we played, the Vittori had quantum sensors. Many of the technologies can belong to, I believe, 2 different factions. I think that's quite common. So sometimes you'll see things in one game being brought to you by one faction, sometimes by another. And their new perk allows up to 3 projects to be built on a single planet and reduces project costs by 30%. I'm assuming that's the way that's worded. I'm assuming that's reduces all project costs and not just projects that are being built on a planet that already has projects. Maybe. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think it's super good for the setup we have here. Like, what projects do we have that we'll want to run? Mass reactors, almost certainly. Mega structures can only be built on people-producing planets, so there would never be any overlap with mass reactors in the first place. This is a project, but I don't know if I think this is great generally. And then that's it. That's all of the projects that we have access to. So yeah, I don't think I have any interest in this. So what is our second perk going to be? I think we're going to take Energy Specialists. I'm going to remember 26 and 30 are the costs on this. We'll see what it looks like once we're actually in-game. Hopefully these have been updated. Every unit of goods received by a populated planet increases trade income by 30%. That's pretty exciting. Or Forge Worlds produce 1 more of their main product and earn 20% more trade income. I feel like this has got to be more money in general, right? Because, first of all, I guess, okay, there's a little bit... What I was about to say is, first of all, goods are produced by Forge Worlds, so, like, you're already getting 20% instead of 30%, and then also, this is going to affect Forge Worlds that don't produce goods, so obviously it's above. However, this affects the output of the Forge World, while this makes a unit of goods affect the trade income output of the people world you sent the goods to. And people worlds are often big earners, because remember, you're earning money for each point of resource being sent out by a world, and it's very common to actually expend all of the people from a people world. There are so many things you can use people for. Again, for a certain value of Utopian. I think we're going to leave it like this, though. I think this is good. So, let's give it a shot. 26 and 30, right? I think. Oh, my memory is so bad. All right, let's look at our text. 20 and 25. Okay, and it includes the base value in parentheses there. So that's a decent discount, actually. It seems like roughly 30% is the discount amount when a perk or a tech gives you a discount. It's usually in that neighborhood. How do we want to crack this? Okay, we can get 5 here. And then 5 here, and hopefully this is a fair amount of information. Yeah, okay, we can work with this. In fact, this seems like a fine start, right? We have, we set up a colony on the ocean world. Ocean colonies require minerals, so we do a two-way trade here. We use the other point of minerals down to here for robots. Robots make food off of the Earth-like world. Bam. Bob's your uncle, as they say. I don't know who they is. English people, I think. I do kind of want to look around a little bit more before we go making this determination, though. Because I'm just, of course, thinking about how are we going to get goods to this planet? Is that a thing that can happen? Also, we do have here a little bit of a complicating... Because we're going to want to get people to these forebear ruins, right? So I'm wondering if maybe we try to set up on the arid world instead. We can still do people to minerals, minerals to robots. Oh, there's no connection. I was going to say we could run a Gaia world here to produce the water. But I can't do robots here for food to run food down to there. Because those worlds can't connect. This planet's too close. Huh. Well, people to here only produces biomass, which is not nothing, but it's also not functional. There's some possibility that the world down, this signal down here is a world that could make a difference. Like, if this was a remnant world, we could do people to robots to food, and then we could do goods up here and still do the Gaia world thing. You know what? Honestly, I think it's worth checking. Okay, it wasn't a remnant world. It was nothing. Does this work? That does work. Obviously, the problem there is that I can't use the people to generate minerals, which breaks the whole thing. Okay. I think we're going to stick with the original plan. Worth noting, this does produce a point of food here, so we could still potentially inhabit Enthalia with a colony if we can find a source of water over in this area, which may be a thing that can happen. So let's set up this two-way trade right before the year ends. It doesn't matter. I think we lost money on that. So our income came in before the values got updated for the year, I think. All right. What are the tasks? Discover 8 new planets, establish trade routes for 6 more resources, or increase total production of chips by 4. I feel like these two are things that we're just going to kind of accidentally do, I think. But this is maybe sort of a distant future kind of concern. So, trade route for minerals, trade route for robots, trade route for food, 3 of 6 already. It really is a shame. Like, these worlds are set up in a way that is so close to being good. Can I get water up here anywhere? Wow. No, I cannot. Because if one of those had been water, we could have still run the food from here, done a people for water, and then also sent water to there, like if there had been a primordial world or an ocean world up here or something. Which obviously would have been good in a whole bunch of different ways. All right, what about up here? Okay. That reaches. So we could flip this world to successful at least. And I can't reach that anyway, so running a slipway across there doesn't hurt us too much. But notice already the money situation. It's bad. We're definitely going to be more reliant on using asteroids to bolster our income. Wait, did I? Oh, right. 1 less water. Shoot. So this produces actually 0 water until we can connect a second point of population to it. An ocean world or a primordial world would still work. That is tricky. Well, we can do this. We can do the breeding program and send biomass over to here at least. But I could also get biomass from here, I guess. What makes more sense? I guess this one's better if I wanna blow up the asteroid. Gets us a little bit more money from asteroids, which is not meaningless. We're gonna have a really hard time generating much success on these planets, though. Okay, so if that's a planet, if that's like a forge world, that could be really good for us. Because we can make this world successful with a triangle like that. So why don't we explore these signals? Okay, we got a remnant world, which is always interesting. Doesn't get me any goods, though. So we can't do anything there. We could produce more food here. I am, of course, looking for more ways to do output from the Forge world, since it does produce extra money. For science would allow us to do water from ice balls and food from ice balls. Unfortunately, there's a desert. Actually, there's a desert and a food world between our robots and the ice ball world here. So that's not super good for us right now. You know, I had somebody describe my style of gameplay to me as deliberate recently. And they didn't mean it in like a negative way. It has been sort of reverberating off the inside of my head though since. So this world's not going to flip to successful unless we can get the food off of it anyway. We really want to put people on this world, like pretty badly. I just need a way of doing it. All right, a little bit more information. Water anywhere? No. Not a drop to drink, it turns out. Well, okay, so a thing we should talk about is that labs have... I don't remember exactly what it is, and it looks like we can't find out just from mouse over. Labs do have an upkeep cost, and it's pretty significant. I think it's like five credits a year. So if we were a little bit more established in this game, I might think this would be a good time to like set up a biomass lab. Because we have 2 biomass producing planets and send people from Sith 7. But it feels like a dangerous move right now. I'm sort of wondering if I do Gaia World this anyway, and then just explore beyond it and see if there is a way to send in a second point of population. It's like, it's not a bad thing to have a Gaia World. Get a little bit of population going, and let's just explore some signals. So I haven't talked in detail about the... Okay, cool. Also, I did that. I was not really thinking about it, but it did happen. I haven't really talked in detail about the function of the undo button, but you can undo as many times as you want up to the last time that you gained new information. And the game is even pretty gentle about that. It doesn't consider colonizing a planet to be gaining new information, even though it does show you potentially a bunch of new signals. But anytime you launch a probe or anytime you look at a set of new tasks, you get locked to your undo gets locked to that point. So this is a little weird. We do here have so we have a thing where we could produce people if we could produce food up here. And we do potentially have a way of producing food. And we totally have a way of producing food. So we could make this make water. And in fact, this world would become successful in the process. We would leave ourselves with no way to access these forebear ruins, because what I'm thinking of is this becomes a population planet. This is producing robots. We go population to here for the minerals, minerals to there for the robots, robots to here for the food, and then food plus biomass. I suppose what might actually be a better play is make this a people world. Have the robots get the food from here. Well, my plan was going to be to send the extra people across to Melv 7, but if we do that, we can't send minerals from here to make the robots work. I think we do want this to be a robot world, though, either way. So I'm going to use this to generate a little bit more information. Okay, if there had been another mineral world up here so that we could do, like, people from there to minerals, that would have changed a bunch of things. I think it makes the most sense to pursue the plan this way. So we'll communicate that to there. Send water to here. Now we have a couple of successful worlds. So pretty good income. We're up to 28 income now. But a couple of critical problems. Number one, we're hard out of money. And number two, we're one planet away from bumping our administration costs by $1 per planet per year, which is going to be at least $8 off of that income, and probably a bunch more as we continue to evolve here. Establish one planet producing 4 or more non-people resources. I'm assuming that must mean 4 or more points of non-people resources, because there's no way you could produce 4 different resources on a planet. That seems very doable. This seems like a problem getting to additional planets leveled up like that, but fortunately, establish trade routes for 7 different resources is actually fairly straightforward, and it's a big injection of cash, which we are going to need. So let's go ahead and detonate an asteroid for a little bit of operating money. A very little bit, sadly. Okay, we can make 18 off of this. Sadly, doing that costs us a month, which is rough. That makes this world a little happier. How much does it cost to set up the mine? We cannot set up the mine. Okay, we're going to do this. Now we're going to set up the mine. And then we're going to have to destroy this asteroid to run the slipway. So we may as well just go ahead and do it. Do that, and then that. And that's a functional-ish web of resources. We got a couple of successful planets out of it. If we could get goods to this world in some way, we'd be in pretty good shape, honestly. So robots to here won't actually produce water. Let's grab a little bit more information. Pretty harsh, actually. Okay, if we make this a people planet, we make this a biomass planet, we can feed biomass. Does this reach? No, it does not. Even if we destroy the asteroid, we are out of range. That's very awkward. I think we need to know what these are. Okay, nothing. The answer is they are nothing. And we really do desperately need some science. We're at 39 income right now. We might have to call that good enough and just build a lab somewhere. Although I guess I don't know what it would do, because now we're out of people over here. Does this connection work? It does. It's all of our current money, but it's probably important information. Seeing what a station does also locks your undo. That's new information. Okay, mineral chip versus plus credit symbol is, I believe, 6 income. So this would be plus 12 income per year. If we did minerals here, we could do a lab like right there studying minerals from both of these worlds, but I think honestly, we need the income too badly. Huh, that really wasn't plus 12 though. Am I paying upkeep on this structure? Yes, I am. Okay. Stupid forebear ruins not keeping themselves up. Okay, well, we're out of good asteroids. That's bad news. We can blow this one up for $6, but that's the last one that will actually produce money. So, things are a little dire. We have so many planets that are producing 3 non-people resources. All we need is to we just got to push something a little bit further. The degree to which we are short goods is really messing us up pretty badly. It is perhaps the case that I needed to prioritize that a little bit more highly. So one thing we can do with our remaining 2 months here is we can send out 2 probes. That costs exactly $6. It'll get us a little bit more information. I guess the other thing we could potentially do is if we can find a planet to colonize around here that would actually be useful to colonize, we can do that. It'll cost 3 months, take us to the beginning of next year. We'll get income, and then also we can get, obviously we can get an asteroid off of it as well. But only certain colonizations will work. Do we have any source of generating goods in like a weird way or making... Well, we have this, right? If we turn the last point of minerals on this world into energy, then we can send energy here and solve the problem that way. That's distant, but it is a solution. That would be bad. This, if the biomass could connect here, it would make my life so much easier. We can get a point of robots to this pretty easily by doing, well, I guess we would need population from here to pop up the robots. And we still don't actually know a way to safely spend the food here anyway. This is tough. Let's do the 2 probes. Let's go on the 2 probe plan. Just see if we can... Okay, I mean, that's something. We should do that. This former communication hub can still offer instantaneous communication across light years, boosting our planets. The type of boost depends on what we use the limited bandwidth for. Only planets that are at least established or better can benefit. Add an extra unit of produced resource, non-people produced resource, on all planets. Increase trade income on all planets by 40%. Or we could just burn the thing right now for $79. At the moment, the trade income for this planet is very poor, obviously. But it's pretty easy to get people worlds to produce a lot of output. Honestly, though, okay, for it to be like $80, how much would we have to boost this thing by? We have close to 20 years left. We'd have to be already getting like $8 a year off of it, increasing that by 40%. Okay, you know what? That's not unreasonable. If we can just find like 1 or 2 more places to send people off of this, and sending them to labs, I think still counts. It's still an export. You can't send people to this world. You can send people to that world and that world. I think I'm going to do the 40% thing, and we're going to hope. We're going to hope that we can make it work. I don't think it's, like, unreasonable. I think it totally could work. And we definitely, if we're going to do it, we should do it now. Right now, it'll only be $1 per year, but every dollar counts. And then I think I am going to make this a water world. There are 2 worlds nearby that could use water. Obviously, transporting water is a big deal. But also, we just need more reach. Okay. Nothing out here that can actually make use of minerals at all. Very rough indeed. So let's smash this. Go minerals here. Okay, so now this world is producing 17 trade income. We're getting plus 40% on 12, which over the course of the game is going to add up to more than the amount that we would have gotten from the raw dismantle. Obviously, we don't get the benefit of using it all at once, which would be cool. So if we send another, if we made this a people world, and we sent a point of population here, we get water back. And the thing we made this ruin do, it's all connected planets. So if we made this a people world, we could connect it here, and if this was producing robots, we could use the robots to get the food. So the question really is kind of just like, is there a source of minerals in the nearby area? Because if there is, that could be pretty great. Gosh, I sure would love to have a little bit of spare population for a lab. Because we have a couple of units of minerals that I would really love to just bounce into a lab here, but we have nowhere to provide the population to run the lab. I need one extra point of body. Well, all right. I think I'm going to go for this, and we're just going to hope. Right? There's no way this works, right? Yeah, you're out of range. It actually is not as bad as I thought it might be, because I thought it was also going to be clipping the gravity well here, but no, it's just a bit out of range. It's not so bad, really. We do now have 4 science, and we could do this, but I don't think that's going to really do anything for us. I'm going to pick up quantum sensors. Y'all know how I love these quantum sensors. Look at the information. Not great, y'all. I can't actually tell if this distance is coverable. Guess we'll just explore that. It turns out it doesn't matter. Okay, I mean, the good news is that we sure do have a lot of minerals over here. A little bit more info. Okay. So if this could have become a food producing world, which it could if we could get it biomass, then we could have run the food to right here, not bothered with the water transmission, run the connection to the Earth-like world instead, and that would have been fine. However, we don't know for sure that we will be able to generate food here, and we kind of do need to know for sure. So we can't run a connection from this world to that one. Yeah, once again, we're just slightly short everywhere. We can almost make things work everywhere. Huh. And y'all can see what they were talking about with that unfavorable planet distribution. Just gonna keep digging here. Ooh. Okay, that's interesting. So we do have two sources of we have biomass into food down here if we want it. Does this connection run? It does. So obviously I would love for this to be a water world, because we can make that successful. But if I do that, how are we going to generate the food this world needs? So we need a source of biomass connected to both this world and one of these two worlds. And if it is one of these two worlds that's producing the biomass, that's great. But we can never get the biomass to here, and we can never get the water to here. I don't know. I think it's fine. We're going to create a little triangle over here. It's not quite going to push us up. So this is the biomass producer, I think. I don't know that it really matters, actually. And then food, I think, is our... No, we'd already done food. Bummer. So... chips, goods... that might be it. Chips and goods would be, I guess, energy. If we moved energy, that would be a 7th route. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do this. Let's get some information. This enormous space station was once a forebear meeting hub for the whole sector. It could serve this purpose once again, providing benefits depending on the number of successful planets connected to it. Gosh, successful planets. Remember those? So we can turn it into a money, science, or happiness producer based on the number of successful planets connected, or we could just burn it for 27 credits. Doesn't feel like the best play. Let me get some more information here. I would love to know if there's a source of water in this area. The answer is kind of. Obviously, pretty unusable. How are we going to manage this? Gosh, I love being able to search this many signals all at once. That's really nice. Okay. All right. What if we made this like a chip world? The way I set this up, I was doing this so that we could potentially find a way to move the biomass for later. We could do like food to here, chips from there. That would give us cover on this one. How will we produce the water for this planet? Can we make this range? No. So this is a planet that can produce robots, obviously, to try to produce water here. We could still get that tech that lets us get water from ice balls. We could still do this somehow. I guess if this is a robot world, then yeah, we could set up another little triangle over here so that we're producing water for this world. The big downside for that, obviously, is that it pushes us over our next empire size threshold. So we would lose another $1 per year per inhabited planet, which is going to be like 17 at the end of that process. It hurts, but it's not like totally destructive. We have no science though, and that is very bad. It does kind of feel like there's nothing we can do about it, I'll be honest. Ooh, do I want to pour a bunch of money into just buying 12 research points? Yes, right? You just buy gene adjustment. That'll help. We're pretty late in the year, or pretty early in the year, so it will take a long time for our income to come in, but we do have a couple of pretty good asteroids too. I think we should do it. We have to buy all this science to offset all the science I'm not buying. It is worth noting that we do have access to gene harvesting as well here, or geo harvesting, which lets us blow up a planet. It costs 1 month, it destroys a planet, and it gives you money. And all of those things are good. Well, sorry, the month isn't. But being able to detonate a planet to clear the path between two planets that actually could do stuff for each other is actually very significant. And I'm definitely thinking maybe we get that first and use that as both a solution to our long-term money problems and a way of remolding things in our favor. It's quite a bit of money too. I think it's like 30 credits that you get when you do a geo harvest. So is there any place, what I'm doing right now is I'm looking around for places where geo harvesting would immediately open up some option that we didn't have before. I know we had some situations over here where it was like, this one world is in my way. But I don't know. I think I made decisions that made that no longer the case, didn't I? We just decided to work around it. Yeah. So I don't know if the geo-harvesting helps us very much immediately, but it does open up a whole different style of play that can be extremely useful. Well, you know, here's the thing. With Fiero 5 destroyed, I think, yeah, that path works, and so we could actually run goods to this world, make it successful, which matters. All right, geo-harvesting it is. 25. Still pretty good, actually. And this right here will give us our 7th point of resources for that. Must you? Killing me. Okay. So, we have money now, and we can turn this on. I think we need the science too badly not to make it a lab, effectively. 1 science per turn is pretty rough, but obviously, over time, we hope to produce more. All right. And we now have a good sort of a panic button, if we need it, for a lot of various uses. So, let me see what's down here. Okay. So we could do population here, food to population there, run minerals to chips to satisfy this, then make this a robot world, have the robots go here to produce water, and then we can send water in to here initially to flip this to successful, but here eventually after we're producing a 3rd point of water, which we will, you know, we'll get from the fuck if I know, somewhere. I don't think it's a terrible play. I don't think it will get us this. Gosh, we're so close. We have three units of resources being produced, and nearly a 4th in so many places. I need chips here, or really chips here. That's what it would have to be, I guess. Well, whatever. One problem at a time. So, actually, chip production is very output heavy. This is probably a good way to go for fixing that problem. All right, so we run minerals. Minerals make chips. And yeah, when we connect the mineral here, it's going to turn that into a 4-chip world and finish that. Okay, discover 14 new planets. You know, still pretty doable. Establish 2 or more planets producing 4 resources. Or increase the total production of goods by 5 units. So that's like... That's establishing 2 new goods worlds, because it's very easy. If we just get the minerals to them, they produce 3 each. That's probably doable. Probably. I think we want to do this one. This one seems very, very handleable. And then the question is, which of these 2 do I think is harder? I think we're going to try this. We need to establish a couple more goods worlds. That's a thing that would be valuable for us to do anyway, right? So, okay, robot. Robot makes water. Ooh, hold on. Right, when I connect the robot, it's going to produce the second point of water immediately. Can we make this? Nope, I had to blow this planet up. Listen, sometimes you have to blow up a planet. That's just normal science. I don't actually want to commit that point of water yet. Hold on, let me... So it is totally reasonable to think we might send out the other point of minerals soon. I think the water's going to do us more good here. Because we can absolutely just do this, right? Get the minerals, get the 2-way trade. And there we go. We have like some successful planets and stuff. Oh, hey, remember the pipe dream of us ever having science? Oh, slightly out of range. I was fully prepared to blow that planet up. And we don't have a range extender here, right? Yeah, we can reduce the cost of slipways, but not increase the range of slipways. So, I think I'm going to go ahead and build my first lab. I am cutting this forebear ruin off from this planet by doing it this way, but also, I am fucking desperate. I guess, hold on. Let's run a probe up here, see if it makes sense to build this lab anywhere in particular. Okay, if there had been another source of minerals up here somewhere, it could very easily have influenced our placement. I guess also over here. Okay. So it probably doesn't matter where in this triangular area we set this up. People, mineral, and mineral. It's a little something. It's 3414 and we're at +4 science per turn. Or per year. It's pretty not optimal, if I'm being honest. Feels pretty bad, y'all. So we still need to discover a few more planets. We can get a pretty good couple of swings over here. While, of course, actually gaining reasonable, useful information. Alright. Thanks for the payout, friend. And then we need to establish some more goods-producing planets. Nope, out of range. So obviously Forge Worlds are the only ones that work. We could establish a meaningful goods-producing planet up here somewhere, probably. And run some population somehow. Oh, these 2 planets can't even connect. Okay, if this is robots, we do robots to food, food to people, robots to goods, goods to the planet. We get the water from here, and then it's just a matter of figuring out how to get the initial minerals in to produce those robots, which is a total crapshoot. think I'm going to go for it, though. I think I'm going to just go for the hope. So, produce a point of robots. Oh, there we go. Okay. We only have 1 point of population going out here, but we may as well connect it. Okay. We actually have really good income. I'm not doing nearly as poorly on the income as I was afraid I was going to do, but I have perhaps neglected some other things in the pursuit of income. Oh, hey, no mineral worlds. Fun. Well, we're going to have to get minerals for this planet eventually, or it's just going to be a big blight on our happiness levels. That's not going to do it without some help. Okay, I am definitely thinking that we might just skip gene adjustment. Although, keep in mind, every time we do an empire size up, the impact of it gets worse, right? Because it's -1 credit per year per planet over a larger number of planets. So when we hit the next threshold, we're going to lose 32 credits per year, which is harsh. It's very harsh. But I honestly, like, with our rate of science income being so bad, I don't think we can afford to get gene adjustment. I think we need to get mass reactors ASAP and start, you know, flipping planets into more productive states. So here's hoping that doesn't bite me in the ass. Fingers crossed. All right, this needs more successful planets connected to it, which means this wants chips. Can't actually have them, but it does want them. Worth noting, it would like them. Okay, is there one other place where it like makes any sense at all to try to set up a goods world? Because we could complete this task. I could even just do robots to goods here. And then when we somehow provide minerals to that world, probably via slip relay or, I don't know, cheat codes, something. It will have the robots to produce the goods here, and we can hope to have use for them somewhere. It would be so cool for there to be like a mineral world out here somewhere. Gosh, we'd have to produce food too. Like it would be highly speculative is the thing. It'd be a very, very speculative play. But I don't know that I see another way that we're going to get useful goods. I guess we could do minerals to goods here. No, we don't want to do that. The last point of minerals being output by this world is actually really important because it's the only way we can get goods to that world. Phooey. Phooey, y'all. And also crud. Will we ever be able to make anything out of these robots? Probably not, right? I'm thinking ahead a little bit. If we set up a situation where we were sending this planet water, say by making this a water world and blowing up this swamp planet, if we sent this water, it would generate an extra point of minerals. Then when this gets the energy to replace the goods, this will produce an extra point of people, which will actually feed the water world. So if we use the mineral to energy thing here to send energy down there, then we use the mineral energy thing on the extra point of minerals here to send energy up to there. I'm just trying to figure out, like, how do we produce a set of planets that can actually have something turn prosperous in it? And the answer is, I honestly have no idea. I honestly have no idea how we would manage that. I'd really like to do it, though. It would be super cool. Yeah, problematic, man. All right. I'm blow this up. We're going to make this a water world. Try our best to get some planets upgraded around here. We can do the same thing on this world with turning the minerals into energy. And then once I've done that, we can send the extra point of population that will be generated to this world. I mean, there's no point in making that connection now, but that'll flip this world to successful. And then we'll have a little network of successful worlds going. And we might actually be able to generate a prosperous world in here somewhere. If this world sends out one more point of population, it will be at 6. It will be at 6 exports. So yeah, we could totally do it. Yeah, we can generate some prosperity up here. That's great news. How do I... Unfortunately, the fact that our planetary network is actually 2 planetary networks that are slightly divided does complicate this somewhat. God, and this world needs the biomass so badly. If only. All right, tell me what these are. I think this looks like it's too far. I don't think it's the asteroid. I think the connection's not showing up between these worlds because the distance is too great. Well, maybe. Hold on, we can check. Yeah, okay. Let's undo that. Yes, it is too great because otherwise the line would have shown up after the asteroid was destroyed. So there's no way for me to get robots to here. Getting robots to here is the only way to get biomass to there. So we're just out of luck for the moment. I need to find some way to be useful over here for just like a little bit longer. I guess the thing we should explore is whether... Okay. We do not, in fact, have a way of generating another goods world over here. If like that had been a, what do you call it? A forge world, it would have been the solution to a bunch of our problems simultaneously. All of them. What a magical state. We can make this a good world, but it doesn't make any sense to do so. I guess we can make it make sense. Right? Robots to goods here, food down there. You know, that's not bad, actually. So let's do robots to goods, finish our task, get a tech discount. The designated area to explore is extremely far away. Trade routes for 8 different resources is... Wait, what? Pressing the wrong mouse button is what happened there. So I sent a probe when I meant to drag the camera. That's on me. 3 planets producing 4 or more points of non-people resources. In theory, that should be easier to get going now as we are boosting the prosperity of planets in various places. So I think I'm going to try these because exploring that extremely distant area seems unlikely. Let's go ahead and take our 20 science mass reactors. And then we're definitely going to do some mass reacting. Huh. You know, that's on me, I guess. I didn't check that. It doesn't look like it's too far. Okay, well, we will find a solution. Does this work? It does. Okay, so we could make... This could be a mineral world and we could do the energy thing. I mean, obviously that requires all kinds of setup, but we can make something happen. Okay, so let's start doing the mineral thing in places where we have to. this is 25 each time we do it, but we have a pretty solid stock built up. So that becomes successful. If we do the water thing, this also becomes successful, and then this becomes prosperous. So we should definitely do that. Actually, hold on. I just realized that's not going to reach, even with the world out of the way. Never mind. This is still right, but yeah, that is a bummer. So if we could get robots to here, we'd have to get robots to here twice, though. Otherwise, it's just going to produce biomass. Ugh. Okay. Out of curiosity, is there anything over here we might want the other mineral for? The answer is kind of yes. Nah, we're good. Send the goods back home. Yeah, we probably can't get a goods world thing going over here, but this world needs water before it can produce the extra mineral necessary. Does it have to be... It has to be at least established. Okay, so the mineral planet does have to be receiving at least 1 point of population from somewhere. And I guess that somewhere can be this world. We just blow up this desert. So we do this. Then we do this. Then we do that. Okay. There we go. We're getting worlds flipped and stuff. Stuff's happening. Things are going on. You can tell I'm trying to convince myself as much as anyone else. So... where do we go from here? I still have to fix this. So we need to get a source of food to this ocean world, potentially? Or, like... it could be this world. People to minerals here. Turn one of the points of minerals into an energy. Send the energy over to here to fill up the robot need. Unfortunately, if we do that... well, it's not a big deal. And that does produce a situation where we could send the other point of goods out immediately. The question is just how do we generate food for the new world we're setting up? And the answer is as yet unclear. And it can really be almost any people world around here, but not literally any. Like this one doesn't work. Well, this one would work if we blew up the primordial world, but I was going to say because there's no direct route here. Yeah, this is very weirdly set up. If we could get food off of this world or this world, that would cover using Sigri 3 as our extra Earth-like. As things stand right now, we can't, but that doesn't mean we won't ever be able to. And we have managed to make some worlds more successful, but none in a place where we can connect them to here, which is a real shame. So we still need to move biomass and water and food would get us this thing. What is this gonna need? Okay, just more minerals forever. That doesn't seem too difficult to do, and then we can send the chips across to here and get these worlds all successful at each other. It really feels to me, we're just gonna do this and we're gonna figure it out later. you know, hope. You remember hope? Do you remember when you used to have hope? Presumably as a small child. That's when I last felt hope. Okay. Good stuff's happening over here. The worlds are turning into things. We're moving new goods. Chips was not on the list before. Okay, now we have to figure out how do we get food. Okay, that works. Yeah. In fact, that's going to work really well. So food. You produce biomass on this world. Move the biomass down there. Build some robots right here. Send the robots up. That's 8. And we have the Aphorian trade capital. Our score is bad with 2Ds right now. Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's actually awful. We're not going to look, but I do not feel like I am doing well. So we can connect that, make that world happy. I am thinking about saving for energy-driven industry here. So energy-driven industry is going to produce us a bunch of extra points of population, which is not always great, but in this case, I think might be pretty all right. We could do a biomass lab out here somewhere using one of these points of population to generate more biomass, then using the point of population that already exists to people the lab and go like biomass from here, biomass from there, and biomass from here using the extra point of population this world will get. And that's way too late, but it's not nothing. It's close to nothing. It's not literally nothing. Is there a way to do this? Okay, I think it needs to be in approximately the position this world's in, so bye-bye. Yeah. Right, that's our winner. So let's just go ahead and hook it up to produce some science right now before the end of the year. Then we buy energy-driven industry. We go to do that. Make you a biomass world. There we go. 9 science. Amazing. That's almost a real amount, and it's only 3421. So I said the per output dollar reduction was going to be like the biggest factor in the increase in difficulty. I think it is fair to say that probably the unfavorable planet setup it hits a tiny bit harder. Oh, this should be connected. Those worlds can all be happy. So we did manage to get one world to the threshold. How do we get another 2? Because, you know, I would love to not lose 1 billion points when the game ends due to having done a bad job with my worlds. I guess, actually, hold on. There's some foolishness here. Am I allowed to undo some of this? I did make an error. This should be the biomass world on this side. I'm being very silly. Because obviously, we want to be able to do that, right? Like, that's way better. And then we'll rebuild this connection. Okay. I've had so much trouble on this difficulty with money in the past that I definitely feel like I allowed myself to make a lot of decisions based on the idea that we were going to be really desperate for money, and that ended up not being the case so much. We definitely could have played this way differently. But, you know, this is still good lessons. So, you I can't reach. You won't actually produce water without a second point of population going in, which we cannot reasonably get, I think. If we do one more planet, we will take a pretty significant hit to our income, but we will also take a pretty significant boost to our score. I mean, I'm sure that's going to happen before the end of the game. I probably don't need to stress about that too much. So we could do this. I suppose I should do that for a number of reasons. And then if we just got some biomass for this world, we actually would have a 4th point of food coming out of it. That would solve one of our problems. As things stand right now, there's no way to get robots down here. But if we were to populate this world somehow, the thing is, if we make this an energy producer, it can supply the point of missing robots, right? We just have to figure out how we would get population here first. So my immediate thought is this is the only populating world around, and it can absorb a point of biomass from the jungle, which will have 2 points of biomass after it has delivered a robot. Actually, it'll have 3 points of biomass after it is delivered an energy. That'd be really useful. That will do good things for us. Oh, over here, I should fix this. Yeah, that's pretty good. And then this world is going to have... Once we flip this to successful, this world will flip to prosperous. Yeah, because it's 3 in, 3 out right now. And we could even send more biomass there. This is a really good plan, except for the part where it doesn't seem like it's going to be possible to produce food. Well, you know what we say in situations like this. Fuck it. So, we do this thing. This world is going to be one of our connections there once we get it leveled. Wait, shouldn't it be producing? Okay, it needs a 2nd point of income before it does that. All right, well then this still is good, and it still does get us 1 world toward our goal while flipping a world to prosperous and a world to successful. So it's very good all around. It's not quite as much as I was hoping. We would have to feed it now a 2nd point of energy. Okay, no sources of food. This could produce food. Dimensional anchoring doesn't seem very good here. Bio-extraction's interesting, though. We will have the resources for bio-extraction before the run ends. And it does give us some extra outputs in a way that's certainly interesting. This is a jungle world, so it would produce... It would produce biomass, yeah. So at the very least, that would accomplish the goal. So that we don't have to stress about that too much. I really hate that this connection doesn't quite work. Is there any other way we can see to produce food? No. This is the only planet within range that can produce food. The only other way to make food happen would be to the only other way to make that happen would be a slip relay, which we can't manage. We simply will not have the science. Well, I guess we'll get the science right before the end of the game if we want to do this instead of bio-extraction. And then we could just slip relay this point of food up there and not worry about stuff at all. Maybe that's the plan. If we could get this to produce 1 extra point of mineral, we could do the mineral thing here. Send the minerals there as people to produce the... or as biomass to produce the food. Alternatively, nope, there's no possible connection between those. The distances are too great. So yeah, that's really the only way we could do it. If we could get an extra point of minerals out of either of these worlds, it would be sufficient, but we cannot. That's not a thing that can happen. Right, yeah, that's massively out of range. You know, just struck me I haven't done this. Mineral chip doesn't do anything for us in this situation. Rebuild the planet crusher also doesn't do anything for us because we already have the ability to crush planets. I can crush them myself. Thank you. Actually, okay, what we can do is... no, that doesn't work. Never mind. For a second there, I was like, well, we send water to here, or we send people to here to produce water. We send the water to there, and then look at how good things are. But once we've done that, the mineral turning into energy doesn't do anything for us anymore because we no longer have a way of generating food. This planet can generate food, but it can't reach, and this planet can reach but can't generate food anymore because we turned it into a water world. Well, I guess we scrap this for parts then. Sure, I guess, whatever. Are we okay? We are making trade income off of that, so it was net $1. It's probably not going to pay off the cost to build the slipway before the end of the game, but what are you gonna do? So I'm looking around for any place else that I think we might reasonably be able to set up a 4 goods world to try to finish this mission at some point. Very few worlds that will produce 2 points of water. We have a lot of worlds that will produce 1 point of water, which is to say 0 points of water. There's no way this distance is traversable, right? It's a shame. Everything's just a little bit too far. Oh. Neat. I like... So, I think we saw one of these in the last game. Just a planet that had a weird bit of variance on it. I guess that must just be a thing that happens now. It's actually really nice. I like little bits of extra variance. Let's see here. Water worlds, of course, are never going to generate a 4th point of resources. This world's doing everything it can do. We still have this problem. We have no way of solving it without slip gates. So I guess our solution to this problem must also be a slip gate. Surely the only way that works. So yeah, the plan is to save up to 38 science in our final year, do a couple of slip relays to solve things. So is there any way that we can make this happen prior to that? I think the answer to that question is no. If we could get biomass to here without making it impossible to do the other thing, which we can't, then that would suffice, obviously. This would level up. Okay, if we got this leveled up, it would produce an extra point of minerals, and that would be sufficient. In addition, if we got that leveled up, it would be good enough. If we just put out a point of food from here, that would solve the problem, actually. And we do want to solve the problem as early as possible, because we'd like to have the opportunity, at least, to get more tasks that matter. So we're going to have a really hard time producing water for this planet, We could destroy this planet and send the food to there instead. But we don't have a way of getting chips for this world either. Yeah, point of population to there doesn't actually accomplish anything. In terms of water, it produces a bunch of biomass we don't need. This connection is just, yeah, it's just out of range. So it isn't actually possible to send this point of food anywhere. There's some chance that this forebear ruin would produce chip. That could happen. We see that happen fairly often. All right. We're going to try something wild. Okay. Got lucky. So, let's go ahead and buy this. Wait, let's look at our tasks. Sorry. Establish 5 more planets receiving at least 3 imports. Increase total production of robots. I think we're not taking any of these. I don't think we can do any of these. Yeah, that's going to be forever away. Decline. So we take this, and we can do a little bit of happiness fixing here. Each one of these fixes is worth a considerable amount of happiness, so it is really important to do them, even though they are very time expensive. Then we can run that as well. I would need to run another point of population off of this world for it to become successful, which I guess I can do. It would be the last thing we ever do, though. This score is going to be rough, y'all. So yeah, if we made this a water world and we connected here, that would be the 4 remaining months. Oh no, sorry. The run ends at the end of 3425. Okay, in that case, I had more time. I maybe could have also pulled off a task, maybe? Maybe. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. Because in doing this, we will create a couple of successful worlds, which is score. Yeah. 1 extra point of technology, or 1 extra point of science wouldn't have done anything for us, so that's fine. Actually, we can make another successful world here by bouncing this to there. That's pretty cool. This world needs... Okay, water from here will turn that world prosperous, so that's pretty great. Can we flip any other planets around here? This needs 1 more prosperous neighbor, which I don't think is something we can do. This world needs to export something. So if we set up a lab out here and we sent out the robot, it would flip. We also get 1 happiness for each import or export this world has starting from the 8th point. There are worlds where that will not be 0. Okay, we don't even have to send the point of population because the light bulb doesn't matter. So I'm not going to spend the month. This world definitely can't flip. This world would need a whole bunch more inputs and outputs. This world only has 2 friendly neighbors and also is off by 2. This world can't actually get water, I think. This world needs 2 imports or exports, which is just unreasonable. We do, remember, we do have the ability to send slip relays. Does this connect? No. That's a shame. If we could connect that, we could do the energy thing here. Okay, you could reach these. Okay. Ooh, wait. Yeah, this is fine. So I was going to say, oh, we don't have $25. Does it cost time to do this? No. All right, so if I blow this up, what would I need? I was going to say, doing this, sending energy back over here, wouldn't actually even make this world successful. But if we could transfer 1 point of population to there, the world would become successful. Hold on. I'm not sure that that's actually a thing that's even valuable to do if we can't make the whole line work. Oh, you know what? It would make this world prosperous at the same time. But we'd have to generate a huge amount of extra money. So it's 5 to do it this way. How much extra money was it? If we ran this, we need 31 plus 25. Yeah, it's too much. Because we can generate $25 per month that we're willing to spend eating planets. But we would have to generate... We'd have to do that twice, and we don't have time. That said, this connection may still be worth making just because it will increase our happiness by 1% by lowering unemployment. We'll see. Is there any other place where we could make a connection like that? That doesn't work. Can we flip any other worlds? Is the only other real question. Are there other worlds around here that could be pushed? I think it looks like the answer is no, not trivially. I guess if this world jettisoned its food... We have no way of getting minerals to here, though. Any upgrade at all would be great. If this world got rid of a point of population, it would flip. So we could do an empty lab. Labs are 2 months to build? Yeah. So that's a 3-month play, but it does increase our base score by a fair amount, and I think probably by the largest amount we can increase it by. Looking at the rest of our options here. I don't think there's any other 3-month play that is as powerful as that. And that's not even that good, but it is certainly something. So there's no version of this where we can make you prosperous. You would need 2 more exports or imports, which cannot reasonably happen. You also need 2 more. Yeah, there's so many places where we're too many actions off. Okay, let's go ahead and make this connection, like I said, worth a point of happiness. And then we have 2 months left. I guess, actually, if we don't flip this to successful, hold on, I think if we leave this world at established, we can make this world prosperous, and that gap is bigger. The scoring gap is bigger, because that gives us time to do this. Right, money. Money's the thing you have to care about in this game. Destroy a planet, do that, and then is this 31 or less? Okay, good. So destroy another planet, do this, and that'll flip that world to prosperous. Okay, and apparently I got an achievement, so that's good. You know, it had a platinum star in it. That's something. That's not a great score. It's not an awesome score overall. But hopefully that gives you some idea what we're in for as far as unfavorable planet distribution and so on. It gets tough. It gets really tough. That's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, we're starting in the campaign. I haven't yet decided if we're going to jump into the final group of levels on reasonable, just to see what their mechanics are, and then start all the way over at the beginning on tough and try to get through it one stage at a time, or what. That sounds likely. That's probably what we'll do. Come back next time to see if that's what we'll do. Aha, leave them in suspense. Showmanship 101. And we'll see you then.